Hi everyone, welcome to a very special episode of Pictures on My Mind. I'm your host Edward Thompson, and I heard rumours of a legendary and lost 90s Australian photography show. I did a deep dive of research and I managed to find on eBay in Belgium an actual recording of the pilot episode that never aired. It is a bit tinged with sadness because the presenter disappeared, and obviously that's why the show never continued, but I think it's really interesting. It's a bit of a time capsule. But really worth checking out. It's quite long, so I'm going to play the first 10 minutes with you now, and maybe we'll dip into this in future episodes. But yeah, here we go. Well, g'day photo mates. Today's episode's all about Gestalt Theory. Gestalt Theory is a framework that originated in the early 20th century. The word Gestalt is German for shape or form, and the theory focuses on how people perceive and process visual information. The key idea behind Gestalt theory is that the human mind tends to perceive objects as part of a greater whole, rather than as isolated elements. This holistic approach is summed up in the famous phrase, "the whole is greater than the sum of its parts," which sounds like something old Dungeon Master might say in your Saturday morning cartoons. Gestalt theory was developed by German psychologists Max Wertheimer, Kurt Koffka and Wolfgang Kohler in the 1910s and 1920s. They were intrigued by how people could recognise patterns and make sense of complex images quickly and efficiently. Their research led to the identification of several principles that describe how our brains group elements to form coherent perceptions. Crikey, that's a lot of information, isn't it? It's funny you're learning all this from an Aussie. You thought us were all a bunch of bogans. We're not, you know. Now you photo mates can use the Gestalt principles to create visually and more meaningful photographs. And I'm going to show you a bunch of examples now, you lucky little rippers you. The first principle you can use is called proximity. You group related images together to create a sense of unity. For example, a group of people standing together will be seen as a group, emphasising their connection. Now look at this amazing photograph here. This is an amazing photograph because it's by the photographer Alfred Eisenstadt. And the way it's all grouped, you can see it's like this weird, like, multiverse cluster going on. Look at the way they're all stood together. Look, in their own little worlds, aren't they? They're in their own little worlds. And the thing is, right, it got me thinking about an episode of Spider-Man that I watched not long ago. And look at that. Look at this, look at the similarity there. I think I might have invented the first meme, because this is 1992 right now. Now let's have a look at this one over here, yeah? Come on now, let's have a look over here. Now this photograph is a great example of using proximity, and yes, they're creating groups, but there's tension and drama, okay? And the drama is that these are two people from very different walks of life, these two little groups from very different classes. You've got the boys here from Eton, very upper class boys, and you've got these little scamps here, okay? These little scamps down there. That creates a sense of drama and tension. You can use another part of the Gestalt theory framework, and that's called similarity. And look at this great photograph here by Guy Borden. Guy Borden. Look at this great photograph by Guy Borden. Look at this photograph here by Guy. And it's like beautiful. Look at all those nails coming in. It's very surreal, isn't it? All those nails. It's that repeated pattern. And what a flash of colour, right? We do love a flash of colour, don't we? That lovely flash of colour. Not so prevalent in the early 80s now, but now in 1992, we love our colour photography, don't we, you little photomate rippers? You love that colour photography, don't you? Now another way you can use the Gestalt principles is continuity. And that means in a frame creating a sense of movement and rhythm that you want to complete. The viewer's eyes will drop into the curves and lines of a photograph and create a pleasing sense of completion. Roads, rivers, pathways, leading lines, all these help to create a sense you're drawn into it, yeah? Like I'm drawn into this photograph, whoa, I'm drawn into this photograph. This is a photograph by Henry. He's a French photographer, he is a French photographer, he's very much alive, because this is 1992, and now, look, whoa, I'm following the bike, and I'm going down the steps, whoa, yeah, look at that, mate, wow. And here's another photograph by Alfred Eisenstadt, I got it right that time, and the kids running along, and you can feel that movement, can't you? You feel that sense of movement. Look at us marching along. Come on, photo mates, let's go for a march. Marching along, his big leg in the air there. Look at that. Oh, I feel that sense of continuity. It's funny I'm not wearing shoes as well, but the ceiling's a bit low in here. Another great aspect of Gestalt theory is closure. Okay, it's closure. It's creating a composition where you let the viewer kind of complete that image. And you're seeing all the street photographers do this, and they've got a little shadow and the beam of light, and yeah, yawn, 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 okay? Why do that when you can mess with people's heads? That's right, you can use this technique to mess with people's minds, and they will fill in that in their own consciousness. Now, what I'm talking about here is this great photograph here by Elliot Erwitt. Come here. Let's have a little look over here. Let's go over here. Look at that. Look at that up there. What's it look like to you? Looks like she's got a face of a bloody dog, doesn't it? But she doesn't. But in that split second that you see that photograph, your initial reaction is, bloody hell, that's a bloody dog woman, isn't it? It's not. Your mind did that. Now, if we walk this way, we're going to Paris now. Come on. Going to Paris. Let's go. We're going over here to Paris. We're going on an adventure. We're going to Paris. Come on now. Now look, this is a great photograph by an amazing street photographer, Joel Merowitz. It sounded pretty good, right? Joel Merowitz, yeah. And in this photograph, you look at it and you think, yeah, everything's normal. And you do a double take because, like, that's not a little kitty walking along. Not a little kitty. That's a bloody monkey. Yeah, little capuchin monkey. Yeah, walking along. But your mind makes that assumption and you see it so. So don't just do photographs of, like, negative space and people walking along lit by a beam of light on your street photography. Yawn, yawn, yawn. Mess with people's minds. You can use continuity to create a different form of consciousness, to change people's perception of reality. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Now, there's another type of Gestalt principle you can use in your photography, and that's called figure ground. And it's a way of setting your subject away from your background. And I love this example by the contemporary and very cutting edge and now photographer, Joel Sternfeld, as this is 1992. And you see this chap here, right? Look at him. He's a bloody giant, isn't he? This bloody giant, what's he going to do? Pick up that rocket, fly to the bloody moon? Yeah? And that's because there's this amazing use of the depth of field and the focal length. He looks like a bloody giant, doesn't he? And he really feels a part. Some might say he is the space shuttle. Look at the white of his t-shirt and the grey of the shuttle and the white. Maybe he's a rocket. Maybe he's God. Maybe he's like this giant godlike character looking on his creation, being, oh, well done you guys, you little guys. You invented space travel. That's really good. You're ahead of the curve. Another Gestalt principle that you can use in your photos, photo mates, is symmetry and order. And we've got this lovely photograph here again. Look at that. Wow. Feeling a bit dizzy, mate? Whoa, what's that? It's another photograph by It's another photograph by Alfie. And we're looking at it and we're like, whoa, look at that. Whoa, it's really messing with my mind. Whoa, what's going on here? It's like a mirror of the people on the bridge, and it's like, whoa, no, you're not. You're on like a spiral staircase. It's like Jacob's ladder. It's like, are these all the lost souls? I mean, what's going on here? I don't know. Now, what we're going to see next? Let's have a look what we're going to see. What we got up here? Hey, mate, that's not funny. I mean, it's a little bit funny. That's me as a little boy. That's right, me little rolly camera there. My little funny haircut. Look at that. Look at little Wayne Bruce there. Little Wayne Bruce. That's funny, isn't it, Keithy? I'm glad he flashed that up for the little nippers to see there, because they know that you can start photography when you're a little kid too, and that's really nice. That's my nan, Keithy. That's my bloody nan, mate. What you doing? She's dead. Get that off, mate. Don't be a drongo now. Get that off. What? Oh, I get it. Now this is funny. Look, oh, this is earlier. That's what you did earlier, isn't it, Keithy? You're having a laugh now, aren't you, mate? Yeah, you're having a laugh. That's funny, isn't it? That's a bit funny. Why? What's going on here? I'm getting all bent out of shape. Keithy, this ain't funny, mate. Keithy, this ain't funny. Where am I? Like I'm in some kind of perpetual void. Keithy? Keithy? Anybody? Hello? Just infinite space. And I'm stuck in it. Hello? How long has it been? Floating in the vacuum of deep space? I don't know. My little boy, I had a little baby. Is he all grown up? What happened? I was a premier wildlife photographer in Queensland, and I took this little job on a cable television network, and now I'm bloody disassociated into deep space. What's going on? Anybody out there? Photo mates, can you hear me? I need some help. I need some help. The DVD says the runtime is 32 years. Isn't that a bit strange?
Did you hear that? I can
Can you hear that?
Where are you?
Can you hear me?
Where are you?
Wayne, yeah.
Hello?
We're photo mates, we're here.
I'm not alone. I'm not alone.